If you're in doubt of where this could possibly be, hopefully, these standing engraved stone sculptures, otherwise known as monoliths, could give you a hint. But this should clear every doubt. This is Destination Cross River.
Hello, we're excited about the Appeals project, largely because of its massive and positive impact. I'm Dr. Marcel Agin. Welcome to Cross River State.
Name is Elvis Eyong Akugum, the cluster chairman of Adima Bayongo cluster. You are welcome to Olam Multipurpose Cooperative Society that is into processing.
As it turns out, Olam is the processing arm of a cluster, which is an aggregate of rice producers, processors, and marketers, supported by the Cross River State Appeals Project.
We have our paddy from those who are into production. 8 cooperatives are into production, and we produce Faro 44. That is the variety of rice we produce. And then the off-taker is Abam, a young Nigeria enterprise. They off-take 80% of what we produce.
Rice happens to be one of the priority value chain for Cross River State, and the Appeals Project does regular follow-ups on the activities of commodity interest groups like this one.
Before now, Olam was not located here. It was somewhere else. So, but because of the intervention that we got from Appeals, we were able to get the milling machine and the hauler. We also have a force bottom parboiler that aids the processing cooperative very well. Even the stoning machine and the milling machine that cleans even the chaff.
The linkage in operations between production, processing, and marketing makes this cluster rather unique. Consequently, impacting on the nature of interventions received from the Appeals Project.
Before intervention, production was always very low. After the intervention, we discovered that we are able to harvest up to 4 metric tons per hectare. And this has uplifted the income of the farmers.
Appeal has also provided a marketing cooperative for us, which is Eco Atika and others. So here is a marketing cooperative that also obtain from us. Then outside that, we have external marketers that come.
This group is clearly thriving, utilizing the various interventions and post-harvest support to enable quality in rice processing. The major off-taker is happy, so also are the marketers.
We now see that it has improved our livelihood. It's like we are already really engaged in employment, and people are working in the cooperative and they are paid monthly. So our economic status has also changed.
The method of payment of our children's school fee has changed. It used to be, you go to the principal and obtain permission, please give me up to 3. It is no longer like that.
Appeals intervention is meeting a key objective, which is the improvement of the livelihoods of farmers, direct beneficiaries, and their dependents.
I want to thank Appeal for the intervention.
In fact, I want to thank Appeals for the intervention.
Thank you, Appeal.
In Calabar Municipality, another cluster under the Appeals Project is literally and figuratively solving the marketplace chicken-egg problem. Here, the farmers rise with the chickens, with each new day presenting new opportunities. The first 2 weeks are critical in broiler brooding, but it is easier when the farmer gets day-old super chicks as inputs.
Before now, we've had challenges on the quality of day-old chicks. This is primary, this is key. And the Appeals Project actually looked into this and gave us, for me, what I would say has been the pivot of our success. Super chicks, excellent super chicks. One of the beneficiaries under Eco-Renewable Cluster. So these are the super chicks I told you of. These are just barely 1 week. These are just barely 1 week. Precisely You can see the performance.
There are a total of 140 beneficiaries in this cluster, spread across several cooperatives, with each focusing on different aspects of poultry production and management.
We are headed to Windmill MPCS to give you an insight to the weight at 4-5 weeks, which I shared with you.
In this case, quality inputs and the adoption of technology have translated to quality outcomes.
Before this time, because of the local brooding technology we have been using, we struggle to get an average of 2 kilos at 7-8 weeks. But with the quality day-old chicks, the pelletized feed, and the gas brooding system, we've been able to achieve, in a space of 4 weeks and 5 weeks, and we achieve an average of 2.5 to 3 kilos.
Cosmos is basing the successes being recorded by the cluster to the knowledge acquired during the trainings by the Appeals project.
As you can see, they are laying, and they are giving us a laying capacity of not less than 90%. The beautiful part about the target of the Appeals, which is enhancement of livelihood, enhancement of productivity, has been fully achieved by virtue of the technology introduced, as well as the output of the technology also introduced. By this sequence of which I've been able to analyze, we have made much output in kilos, we have made much output in money, and we have also made much output in our livelihood.
There is no question that this cluster is happy with where they are at the moment. Arguably one of the largest poultry farms in the country, Cali Farm is a testament that the Cross River State Appeals project is taking its second priority value chain quite seriously. Cali Farm is an outgrower scheme operated by the Poultry Association of Nigeria and the state government, with key support from Appeals. Courtesy of Appeals, each pan is provided with day-old broilers, feeds, and vaccines. While the interventions at Cali Farms are critical to its beneficiaries, they have also given the poultry an ultra-modern outlook.
Before now, we have been in this business of poultry farming, but it was almost a crook method of farming. We were using drinkers and feeders, the local ones. Sometimes we use charcoal, and so it was not really helpful. But when Appeals came on board, and then we got this intervention by Appeals in conjunction with state government, and then even with our off-takers, things have become very easy for us.
Aside the automated drinkers and feeders, again courtesy of Appeals, there are a combination of other automated machines, including the heat repellers, dosing machines, and heat control panels.
And the process of our feeding the bird is not as strenuous as it used to be when we were still in the crude way of doing poultry business.
Being engaged in the poultry has transformed the lives of beneficiaries in many ways than one.
You are seeing me talking, I'm talking very freely. If nothing has transpired or happened before now, there wouldn't have been any way I would have even allowed myself to even come to talk to you regarding what you are seeing on ground. It's a thing of joy. It has helped us to outgrow some of the challenges that we have experienced even when we were in the business that was not to this magnitude. So the presence of Appeals and in conjunction with the state government, like I said earlier, has lifted so many youth, more especially the unemployed.
From pan to pan, the feeling of gratitude to the Appeals project is the same. It rings loud and it rings true.
Welcome to Cali Farms!
Nothing says welcome like the aroma of fresh bread baking in the oven, and the smell of melted butter, the yeasty odor of fermenting dough merging to radiate beauty and spark craving even at this stage of creation.
My name is Kenneth.
And I'm Osoai.
We are bakers and we bake London cocoa bread.
This is how the popular London cocoa bread in Calabar is made.
These are the major ingredients we use for our cocoa bread. We have the flour, we have our sugar, we have our salt, we have our butter, we have our yeast, and then the almighty ingredient, the cocoa powder. The cocoa powder is our main recipe for this bread production.
This bakery is owned by a quartet, supported under the Women and Youth Empowerment component of the Appeals Project, and has been in operation for less than 2 months.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah?
Well done. I can see you're doing a beautiful job here.
Thank you.
All right, so this project was empowered or facilitated by Appeals World Bank project. We were able to get support from Appeals to purchase our oven, our mixer, our bread dough cutting machine, the scale, virtually everything we have here.
Its unique selling point as an appeals program is the Cocoa Value Addition, arising from the fact that cocoa is the third priority value chain for Cross River appeals.
Anywhere you go, cocoa bread, London cocoa bread is the best. The demand is so high that even children want it.
Because of its popularity, it's gained us a lot of distributors. People come here with their own cars, their own vans. They want us to produce for them to go distribute it for us and get their own profit also.
While and Kenneth both work the morning shift, the other two partners will take over later during the day.
This appeals intervention has really transformed our lives. Barely a year ago, I was unemployed, a graduate, and yet I couldn't feed myself. But right now, I'm able to take care of myself, my family, with the support that Appeal has given me. And I've become very useful and a valuable person in society too.
To add to that, we have become entrepreneurs and we have employed. We started with 3 workers and now we are top on the 7th.
Life has changed for these beneficiaries, and the improvement in subsistence has buoyed their spirits to aim higher.
We are ready for exportation. We want to export. What we learned at Songhai, we are not limited to our environment. We are not limited as it is now.
So London.
London, Cameroon, USA, every part of the world, London bread is going to storm.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
On the outskirts of Calabar, along the road leading to Bakassi Peninsula and the farming community of Akpabio, is this appeals project signpost. It announces the construction of a 1.123 kilometer farm access road project at Ikotofiong and Bai Ndon in Akpabio local government area of Cross River State. There again, Appeals is creating linkages between farming clusters and the market. The farm access road is considered a major breakthrough, as it will open up a new vista of economic opportunities for Appeals farmers and other residents in the area.
As you can see just behind me, that's a very massive poultry farm. There's a goatry there, and even a piggery. Down the road, there are other farms. There's a mill down the road. If you go towards the covert, there's a mill there. So since this project started, a whole lot of other things have cropped up.
Work on the road is progressive. The plan is not to falter, even when the elements threaten to slow the pace. And when the downpour increases in intensity, the workers remain defiant and poised to concluding the day's task. The intervention has a 10-month completion timeframe and has already reached 60% level of completion.
This is the weather, this is the season that we are right now. And if you want to say, you want to shun the rain, you want to walk when you have real dry weather, you won't achieve, with the time frame we have in delivering this project.
The supervising manager is optimistic the construction will meet the target deadline, as it is all about work, come rain or shine.